Buffalo yesterday with a win. Philly had a 13-0 lead heading into the fourth quarter, but the Bills' offense finally kicked things into gear, scoring 2 unanswered touchdowns in the closing seconds. The Bills elected to go for 2 for the win, failed to convert on a bad throw from Josh Allen. Here's head coach Nick Sirianni pumped by the win after the game heading to the tunnel.
Not so much anymore. Love this.
Okay. Cam, did last night say more, yesterday say more about the Eagles or the Bills?
It said more about the Eagles. I think Nick Sirianni is a tad bit delusional, kind of similar to Dan Orlovsky. Because if you look to the right or the left of him, there was A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown knew that the Philadelphia Eagles just got away with murder, giving that if you're excited as a Philadelphia Eagles fan because Josh Allen had an inaccurate pass, that does not take away of the fact that the receiver who Josh Allen was throwing to was wide open. Now, when you start to unpack last night's game, the thing that was abundantly clear was 0 for 7 that Jalen Hurts went without a completion in the second half. That cannot happen. And when you start to also unpack last night's game, the Philadelphia Eagles defense was a more physical team. And that's why we came to a situation to go for 2. So for me, it says way more about the Philadelphia Eagles than the Buffalo Bills in that type of dynamic.
And this is an Eagles team that had 1 first down in the second half. And your head coach, and I'm not trying to be a hater, a win is a win, but is yelling like that the offense did something of importance in the second half. They got lucky. No?
Yeah, I would not be going into the tunnel celebrating as if we did something remarkable, especially in that second half. I'd be a little concerned from Sirianni, which is why I think we learned more about the Bills than the Eagles. The Eagles still have questions about which offense is going to show up come playoff time. And you just cannot believe you're Sirianni and the Eagles squad that you're going to have a second half in which Jalen Hurts goes 0 for 7. This is multiple times this season where he has not completed a pass in the second half. That is inexcusable. You need to have something better come playoff time. But what we found out more so was about the Buffalo Bills. And what we learned, what we kind of already knew, is that this team, if Josh Allen is struggling, they have nothing else. Yes, I know they have a running game that's a little bit better. I know the defense has improved. But what we've seen, especially in this game, and against the Texans, when you have a physical defense that can get to you with that front four, you don't have wide receivers who can get open. You don't have any separation. Josh Allen is throwing the ball into coverage and guys who cannot go and get the ball. So what does that cause Josh Allen to do? He's going to force. He's going to, make some bad passes. He's going to make some of these bad decisions, make some errant throws, which kind of looked like what happened towards the end. That was a layup. That was a missed layup that he had. And sometimes Josh Allen, there's one weakness he has. When things are struggling around the rest of the team, he feels like he needs to put it all on the shoulders and make some erratic throws and erratic stuff. And what we saw against this Eagles squad and against that Texan squad, these defenses are too much for this Buffalo team, and they don't have anything outside of Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I want to rock with you, Dave, but, man, look, Josh Allen, like I said earlier, has earned the right for any team to trust him in that type of dynamic.
Okay.
You go into a situation yesterday and say, hey, let's go win it. You got a quarterback like Josh Allen. Hey, let's go with it. Put the ball in his hands to go find us a win. Players mess up too. You know what I'm saying? And Josh Allen messed up. I do not suspect that to be an ongoing thing moving forward as we get prepared for the playoffs as well.
Playoffs right around the corner. We'll see what happens with both these teams. Both of them will be playoff bound, obviously. But,
That Super Bowl, that's exactly right. And the question is spurred on by Josh Allen. We talked earlier in this hour a lot about the Allen and the Buffalo side of this. They will now need to win 3 road games, presumably. And it's crazy, things can't happen. You get a home game. But generally speaking, they'll have to win 3 games on the road to make it to the Super Bowl. How about the other side? Dan, you watched that game yesterday. The Eagles had -2 yards, net passing yards in the second half. That's terrible English by me. They had -2 net passing yards in the second half yesterday. They had 16 total yards of offense in the second
half. Their first drive, their first play is a one-man route. That is the NFL. Okay, so there's a lack of moments when I've liked Kevin Patullo this year and his play calling, and I've had moments I go, man, there's such a lack of creativity, and I think that that's going to haunt them. And I don't think it's going to get fixed in the next week.
They could get the Rams or Seattle in their very first
That would be
playoff
concerning
game.
to me.
Either one of those two are a realistic possibility based upon what happens to Seattle on Saturday night, and the Rams are going to be a wild card. How about the Eagles side of this?
Well, you heard Nick Sirianni talk after the game yesterday how he's going to get more involved in the offense because clearly what they were doing yesterday didn't work. It worked in the first half. They went flat in the second half. And we talked in the first hour about the fact, is it possible that they've been saving Jalen Hurts for later in the year, maybe even the postseason, because this offense is much more dangerous when he runs, and he hasn't done a lot of that this season. Now, if he's running, the offense gets more dangerous. It's go time. And if he's playing and he's running, they're going to be a tough team to beat.
I think it's a great point, Shefty, because let's just say you come out and maybe your intentions is not to run Jalen Hurts that much, but to start the game, maybe 2 out of your first 5 plays, you've got quarterback design runs. Put that defense on their heels a little bit. It's hard and why? The math doesn't work on defense. You don't have an extra player. And that's why it's so critical to have, when you have a quarterback run game, it is hard as hell to stop. And this quarterback has tailback skills. So I think that you're dead on, Shefty. They become way more difficult to stop with a quarterback.
Can I bring something and ask you? Maybe I do think there's times where when you have an elite defense, you can get conservative as a play caller.
Yes.
You know, and so
that's what I thought happened yesterday.
Yeah.
They were shutting them down so much. They just wanted the game to end so badly.
If we don't make a mistake on offense, there's no way that they're going to score enough points to beat us. And so I do think there's a little reality that happens sometimes in Philly where the defense is so good, you sit there and say, I think it happens as a play caller. I think it happens as a quarterback.
And let's let Rex do one more play because there's one thing he's wanted to get in all morning long, and I think it is interesting how well coached and well disciplined the Eagles defense is, because it's that defense they're going to have to ride if they're going to go back to the Super Bowl. And there was one play that stood out to you.
Well, first off, Greeny, you made a point of he had 0 completions outside the pocket. And watch how the pressure comes. Now look at the pursuit angle. Look at the pursuit angle, how they end up bringing it back just a little bit if we can. But they end up shutting him down, not allowing Josh to get out. And then the corner, you look here. This guy was in deep, but he doesn't chase down below. He builds on top. That puts this man in a box.
Oh, wow.
And that's how you end up defending the perimeter quarterback. And nobody did it better than Philadelphia. It's taught, all right? It is taught. And this thing right here, Vic Fangio teaches this, and that's why, guess what? He didn't beat you outside the pocket. In fact, he never completed a pass outside the pocket. So you try to build a box anytime a quarterback does, and nobody did it better than Philadelphia.
That's real. Rex wanted to get that in all day, and I think it's a great point. That defense,
you can literally see the box.
Yeah, that's exactly right, and that's what the great defensive coaches like Rex Ryan and Vic Fangio can do. Is the Eagles' defense good enough for them to ride to the Super Bowl?
Oh, there's no doubt. I think they have the best corner in football this year in Quinyon Mitchell, and that's really the way they're called their defense is right now they put Quinyon into the boundary and like, hey, if you don't have a boundary receiver that can wear someone out like maybe Seattle with JSN, if you don't have a boundary guy, it's tough sledding against this defense right now.
And you got Cooper DeJean as a top slot corner. So you're like...
And great tackler.
Yeah,
he's the
and
best
you
tackler
got
in football.
an X-receiver. That's where Mitchell is. And then you got this guy in the slot, your number 2. Man, I'm just telling you, they are built to make a long run. And especially, Greeny, nobody beats Philadelphia in the playoffs in Philly.
Well, we'll see. There's one more weekend to go and one more game in this weekend left.